So we start off by, say this is an insurance job, okay, which is going to be obviously the one we do the most of. Instead of roofing or worksheet or anything else, I usually don't even add a trade. I just add insurance claim to start. Okay, let me get rid of this top section. Now, what I'll do then under the insurance claim is I'll add the numbers that we know. And that's usually what, ACV or first check. And I do first check, that way when this translates over to invoice that you send a homeowner, they understand what you're talking about. So let's say this first check is $12,000. Okay. And what I'll do is go through here and add items. The next one would be the deductible. Okay. We'll say the deductible is $1,000. Add item, and then we'll do depreciation. See if I spell that right. And we'll say that that's just, we'll say that's 5,000. Okay. So right off the bat, this is how I lay it out. Now, ideally, we're getting the estimates, the insurance estimates before we go to the contract signing. So if I'm a rep and I just get this estimate before I go do the contract, I'm going to work through this worksheet because I can actually spell out both on the contract and I can see the math myself what we're dealing with. Now, you may have work not doing per the scope. So this is going to be a whole new section added. So we just have all these options in here. So this may be, we'll say line items. We'll say 9 through 14. I mean, this is just kind of what they would look like, right? 24, 26. And maybe that's $2,100. So just go down through here. And we're just using this almost like a tax worksheet where you're just going and entering number by number of the values that you know, and it's going to build this overall contract value for us. Okay, so we go down from here and then say we have an upgrade. Let's put this upgrade in here. And since nobody's giving away warranties anymore, we'll put in a certainty warranty. I'm probably going to spell all kinds of stuff wrong here. And we'll say that's $350 for that warranty. Okay, we'll add another upgrade. This upgrade is going to be to Landmark Pro, okay? Make this 150. So it's a $500 upgrade package altogether. Anybody have any questions so far on what I'm doing? Pretty plain and simple. Okay. So from here, the thing I hate the most is also the ability to add a discount. But when we get to the point where sometimes we just have to, then down here is where you would add that discount. We'll say it's $100 for cat therapy because their cat didn't like the nail guns. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. So then we go in here and approve it, automatically updates the job. Now, the nice thing is when we get towards the end, after you guys have signed the contract, we've built everything, Adam's doing his thing in supplements, which will be an entirely, that'll be an additional section right here. You'll see a supplement down there. But as we get to that point, big, huge supplements. We get to that point when Wasana, myself, Lisa, whoever's working on the file post-production, we can easily go through here and see, if Wasana enters final check, sometimes she'll say, hey, there's still a balance left on the job, right? We can go in here and see, okay, we didn't do these line items in here. So she can just quickly check the math. Maybe just the math's wrong. Maybe there's $200 left and this should be at $2,300. Okay. So that's why we do go through this. We can also, if we need to credit things or if we end up doing light items, then it's easy to adjust these numbers because we could just delete this out of here and it adds it back in. And this is also for us to be able to track. So we want, at the end of the year, we want to be able to give away prizes and we want to be able to run metrics on who sold the most upgrades, who sold the most additional services, certainteed warranties, upgrades to Landmark Pro from Landmark or from a 3-tab or whatever. This itemizes everything and allows us to pull those reports down the road. The other thing that this does, excuse me, the other thing this does is this allows us to build an invoice. So this is kind of the second half of it, but does anybody have any questions on the worksheet portion? So it's kind of like the contracts. You can't have too much detail. So all these numbers, this is how I would prefer you break it out. And I would like if managers, if you can start working with your teammates to do it like this, only because we can see exactly what's in the job and we can get these things closed out faster. The other thing this helps us do is if I go over here and click on invoice and the 3 dots, now I can come down and I can say import from worksheet. Okay, and then all these sections I'm going to add in. Import. I'll get rid of this empty one here. So now what I've done is I've got an invoice in here that I can send a homeowner. Let me go and see if I can preview this real quick. So now you can see they'll be able to track exactly what all the money has gone to. So they'll be able to look up on their insurance scope. Okay, yeah, they've given me a credit for this. And my cat therapy is paid for. Perfect. All right, so that's saved. Now, say there's a payment in the job. We've gotten to this point. We've got our worksheet is updated with all that we are doing or we are not doing. It would have change orders in it, discounts, anything like that. And we've imported that over into our invoice section. From here on the 3 dots, if there's a payment made, if they've already given you checks, you can come in here and click on link payment. Okay, and it'll show I've added a fake payment in here of 500. So now when I go down, you can see automatically updated in this invoice is that $500 payment. So if we're looking at if there's some supplements and they're not sure, because some of the depreciation was credited and they've got supplements coming in, what is my final balance? I've got a change order because of dormers. All those things, this way we can add this up. You can apply all the payments. And then when you go to email an invoice, everything will be updated, as you can see, with the total payments received, invoice balance due. And then from there, you're just going to click email invoice. It's ready to go.